There's a moment in every long political fight when the noise suddenly gets quieter, not because the fight is over, but because something real has started to move. Over the past few weeks, while most people were watching price charts and headlines, something else was happening in the background, something slower, more procedural, less exciting, but far more important. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says that U.S. crypto market structure legislation is finally making solid progress. Not rumors, not leaks, not wishful thinking. So the question is not, is crypto about to explode? The real question is this: what kind of future is being built, quietly, while most people aren't looking? And why does this moment feel different from all the false starts before? Stay with me, because to understand what's happening now, we need to slow down and rewind. For more than a decade, crypto in the United States has existed in a strange space. It wasn't illegal, but it also wasn't clearly legal. Companies built products without knowing which rules applied. Regulators enforced laws without agreeing on who was in charge. And users, everyday people, were left navigating uncertainty. One agency treated crypto like securities, another treated it like commodities, another focused on money laundering risks. There was no single map, just overlapping lines drawn by different hands. And every time lawmakers talked about crypto regulation, the same cycle followed. A proposal, a hearing, a spike in hope, then silence. Bills stalled, momentum faded, and the industry went back to guessing. Then came the collapses. The scandals, the failures that didn't just hurt prices, they damaged trust. And that changed the tone in Washington. Crypto stopped being a novelty. It became a risk that demanded structure. That's the environment we're in now. Not excitement, not panic, but something closer to seriousness. Online, reactions to Brian Armstrong's comments split almost instantly. Some people hear progress and translate it into price action. They assume a green light is coming, that institutions are about to rush in, that everything is about to change overnight. Others hear the same words and feel nothing but skepticism. They've heard this before. They've watched lawmakers argue, delay, and dilute. They assume this is just another talking point. And then there's a quieter fear underneath both sides. What if regulation doesn't mean freedom but control? What if clarity comes with restrictions that change crypto forever? These emotions are real. Hope, fatigue, suspicion. But emotions aren't evidence. So let's separate what people feel from what's actually happening. When Brian Armstrong talks about market structure, he's not talking about price. He's talking about rules. Market structure legislation answers basic but critical questions. Who regulates what? Which assets fall under which laws? What responsibilities do exchanges actually have? Right now, those answers are inconsistent. What's different this time is not just the conversation, it's the coordination. Multiple committees, multiple agencies, and for once, a shared acknowledgement that ambiguity is hurting everyone. Lawmakers are no longer debating whether crypto exists. They're debating how it fits into the financial system. That's a subtle shift, but a profound one. Think of it like building roads. For years, crypto traffic has been moving without lanes, signs, or speed limits. Some drivers liked the freedom, others crashed. Market structure isn't about banning cars. It's about deciding where the roads go and who maintains them. This includes clearer definitions for digital assets, guidelines for custody and trading, and boundaries between regulators that reduce turf wars. Progress here doesn't mean perfection. It means fewer surprises. And for institutions, developers, and users alike, fewer surprises matter. Here's the part that often gets overlooked. Legislation like this isn't designed to help speculators. It's designed to reduce systemic risk. That means the biggest beneficiaries aren't traders chasing short-term moves. They're infrastructure builders, payment systems, custodians, compliance teams. This is slow capital, not fast money. Another missed point is that progress doesn't guarantee friendliness. Clear rules can be strict rules. Some business models may not survive. Some practices may be forced to change. But uncertainty is worse than enforcement because uncertainty freezes decisions. And right now, a lot of long-term capital is waiting on the sidelines, not because it hates crypto, but because it can't price legal risk. That's what market structure aims to address. Not hype, not adoption slogans, but legal gravity. In the short term, this likely means more debate, not less. Drafts will change, compromises will be made, timelines will stretch. That's how legislation works. In the longer term, if these frameworks pass, crypto in the US starts to resemble an actual industry, not an experiment. That comes with trade-offs. Innovation may slow in some areas. It may accelerate in others. But the days of total ambiguity would be numbered, and that, more than any price move, would mark a turning point. So when Brian Armstrong says progress is being made, it's not a victory lap. It's a signal that crypto's future in the US is no longer being argued in theory, but shaped in detail. This moment isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's procedural, incremental, and easy to ignore. But history is often written this way, not in rallies, but in rules, and the people who understand that tend to be calmer, clearer, and better prepared for what comes next, not because they expect guarantees, but because they understand the process. And sometimes that understanding is the most valuable thing of all.